What's up, guys? It's Ryan Mason here, and today we are going to talk about how to crush your goals in the new year. We're going to call them goals today. We are not going to call them New Year's resolutions. Resolution, I found, has a negative connotation with it. A lot of times people fail when we're talking about our New Year's resolutions. So we're going to call them goals today. You can set them anytime. Doesn't have to be the new year. We're just going to go over how to set them so that the bar is here and you're here to make that climb easy and to not make it overwhelming so you actually achieve your goal. But before we get that far, we need to go over a few things. We're going to have an open conversation with ourselves. This is for everybody individually. So you need to drop the shield. Excuses are a defense mechanism in the mind to stay comfortable. And once you break that mold of comfort, you will see a lot of growth, and it is possible. So Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right.
Wow.
And that goes with goals as well. That's the case. A lot of it is mental. If you don't think you're going to be able to do something, well, guess what? You're probably not going to be able to do something. But the mind gets what the mind wants. And if you want it, you can have it. So we're going to go over to the next part as well. What do you truly want? Most people set goals like, hey, I want to earn $100,000 this year, or I want to be able to knock out 100 push-ups at the end of this year, something like that. But that's not really why they actually want to do that. And we need to make sure that you know actually why you want to produce that amount of money or why you want to do 100 push-ups, because that's going to change the thought process in your mind and keep you motivated. So in reality, when we talk about somebody producing $20,000, $50,000, $1 million a year, it is so that they can have the things that come along with it. The freedom that comes with having a nicer home, or knowing that your lights are going to be on when you go home, food on the table, stuff like that. Push-ups, a little bit different. Maybe you just want to look better in the mirror. Maybe you want to help attract a new mate, something like that. Or maybe you just want to be a little bit stronger. So, the 100 push-ups would come with that, or the $100,000 would come with the new home. But the real reason isn't the $100,000, even though that's your goal. The real reason is your home, the lifestyle, things like that. So just sort of to prelude our opening here, we need to open up and be comfortable with the conversation we're about to have with ourselves about our goals. Be honest with yourself. If you're fat, you're fat. If you're skinny, you're skinny. If you need to work out, you need to work out. If you think you're not making enough, then this can change, but it's up to you. And that's going to be different for every person. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror differently, and that's all that matters. Nobody else's opinion here is going to matter except for yours. Cool, so we've kind of figured out what our why is. We'll take a moment and pause the video and do that. After you get that figured out, it's on to setting the goals and how to achieve them. So normally we tell ourselves, hey, I want to kick off. We're just going to keep using the push-ups and the money as a common denominator here. It's a little bit easier to follow that way, but your goals could be anything. It's all going to be the same. The problem that we have is that we build this mountain here. So let's say we're here making $10,000, or we're doing 10 push-ups, and I'm just going to apologize right now. I'm left-handed, so I have to carve into a dry erase board, so it's going to be a little sloppy, but the point's the same. And then we have this mountain here, right? All the way up. And this is your 100K goal, 100 push-up goal, right there at the top. So how do we get there? How do we go from making 10 grand or being able to do 10 push-ups a month to 100K? And I really like using this mountain as an example. We'll just call this Mount E, Mount Everest, right here. Climbing Mount Everest. You don't climb Mount Everest in a day, it takes time. So if you've got your little hiker down here, this bag full of success. He's probably a little optimistic right now. How is he gonna make it to the top of that? It's not gonna be in one day, it takes steps. So they build out a map on how to get to the top, how long it's going to take, and then they do it. So your first step might be, hey, I can only do 10 push-ups right now. Let's increase that 10x total, but 10% right now. So if we do some quick math, we'll come to the side of the board. If we do some quick math, 10% is just 0.1. So 10 times 0.1 is just one push-up extra to do 10% better than the day before. We can all do 11 push-ups the next time, I promise you. So here's our 11 push-ups. And you can mark this down. It's going to be easier if you use a notebook. If you have Evernote, I'll show you guys Evernote. It's an online source. You can pull it up on your phone, desktop, anything like that would be a good source. The notes that I made for this video are in Evernote, and I will share that with you so that you can have these. And then I'm also going to post it on Facebook so you guys can have that along with the video. But let's just say, for example, you don't have a whiteboard or something like that. Post-it notes are a really good way to do this, and I'll show you why. So let's just say we're kicking out the math still. And we start out here at 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups right at the bottom. And then the next day, we've got 11 push-ups kicked out. Or the next workout. Or the next week. However you want to term it out. Whatever you decide is best for you. And the next time, 13. And then we do 15. And you're not always going to climb all the way up. There's going to be days, maybe you get pneumonia, you feel sick, you feel like shit. You're going to have a drop. And that's what's so important about these post-it notes, right? Your next goal, 17. Well, maybe you can only do 14 this day or something of that nature. Use these post-it notes right here. Pull them off and keep them. And then you've got a stack of times that you've succeeded in the back of your head and physical proof that you can achieve the next step. And then you just gradually work up, 20, 25, all the way up until you get to, 80, and then the next one's 100, and you're there. It's that simple. You just need to continue to progress 5 to 15% each time. And I recommend that, especially with, physicality. That way, A, you're not hurting your body, and it can stand it, and it is continuous growth. And then once you build that habit of succeeding, this 100 isn't anything. This is just your marker now. You're just going to continue to climb all the way up off the chart. It doesn't have to change. If you build that habit, your success is just going to continue to go up once you have the structure in place to do that. So I just want to take a moment as well to go over maybe what's realistic with the goal as well. And I'm going to kind of go back to the monetary example to get around that, because physical limits are oftentimes more imaginary in your mind than what you might think. So there is actual limits on money though. Let's take some of this off here. So for example, let's say your goal is $100,000 this year. We want to hit $100,000 and we want to work 50 weeks out of the year. So if we divide that out, 50 weeks, and you want to work 6 days a week, that means that you're going to have to make, and I got the math right here, $333 a day to make $100,000 this year. Well, guess what? You're not going to do that making $10 an hour. It's physically impossible. It is mathematically impossible to make $100,000 making $10 an hour. So maybe your goal, instead of the $100,000, is to get a job or produce your own company that you can make X amount of dollars, the $333 a day, to produce the income that you want at the end. Maybe we need to change the goal up a little bit to get to this $100,000 mark, or whatever that mark is that you might want to make this year. So just come back to the bottom here and recap everything. We're going to determine the real reason behind the goal. Maybe it's a house. Maybe you just want to look better, get some muscles. That's an arm, by the way. Looks good. Maybe you just want to make a little more money so you can have hookers and below. That's not for me to determine. That's up to you to make whatever goals you want a reality. Nobody can set these for you. It is for you. None of this is going to happen either unless you hold yourself accountable. Find a group of people or something maybe also to hold yourself accountable. I've got, and you probably see it on Facebook, I have a group, a private group of individuals, sales individuals, that I use to push me to level up. We talk about goals together and we hold each other accountable. That's something that you can do. You can find somebody else with similar interests as you, and then you guys can help each other achieve similar goals. You're on the same path. It's going to look a little bit differently, but you guys can help each other. Maybe you don't have that there. If it's a physical goal, hire a mentor, hire a personal trainer. They've already been up this mountain. They know what it looks like. Maybe they can help you right here. Instead of falling, they can build a little bridge and make it that much easier for you to get to the top. Find somebody around you that will hold you accountable. Just to close this out, you know, believe in yourself. Have some affirmations. You will be successful this year. I believe in you. You can do this. And it's this easy. It's not here. This is overwhelming. Look at it here. I'm here this day. I'm here this day. All you have to do is get incrementally better until you're here. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on any of this, just let me know. Message me. If you're a personal trainer in here, leave your link below. I know I've got a dozen of them on Facebook. Find somebody in the link in the comments below that can help you. It's going to be a great year for you. 2019 is going to be incredible for all of us.
Wow.